Ooh, as if Nvidia wasn't in enough trouble already with the GPP and everything that's going on right now. Here I have an article from AnonTech. Nvidia silently rolls out slower, lower TDP GeForce MX150 for Ultrabooks. Not only does Nvidia have to take AMD away from gamers, but then they also have to roll out cards that are meant for gaming, dedicated graphics cards, that are also worse than they say they are. Which... Okay, so this article from AnonTech says that in Notebook Check, they reported their findings of a second version of the MX150 existing, with the newest version supporting a lower base boost and memory clock speeds than the original SKU. That's horrible. Diving into the matters, it looks like the second MX150 is designed to be a lower performing, lower TDP version for smaller Ultrabooks. There's two different PCI IDs, and to find that there's the clock speed difference of 36% for the base, 17% for the memory, and 32% for the boost, which can come to about 20 to 25% performance drop for the 1D12 MX150, which is just absolutely crap. Like, I've reviewed the MX150 on an MSI notebook a while ago, and it was like, it's a decent performing graphics card. Like, it performs about as well as a GT 1030. That's what you're going to get if you bought the MX150 when I reviewed it. But apparently, Nvidia is just releasing MX150s that are worse performing. There's no mention whether or not you can overclock it to the point where it's going to be better, but my guess is that with the lower TDP and probably the worse cooling, they're not going to do that. But when it's on the freaking box that it says MX150, or in the spec page and it says MX150, not the MX150-12, which is a worse performing one, you're deceiving your customer. Like, my review is now obsolete for certain members who might be buying an MX150 graphics card, and a drop of 20 to 25% when the performance wasn't even great to begin with. Like, you want 720p 30 FPS gaming? That's what you get with the default MX150. Guess what you get when it's 20 to 25% lower? Yeah, you get lower than 20%, you get lower than 30 FPS average. You might even have to drop down to like a 480p resolution in order to game properly on these freaking things, which is absolutely mind-boggling. And then, yes, the MX150 is not officially a gaming graphics card, it's just a dedicated GPU, but even in the instances where you're using it for, you know, a Premiere Pro workflow where the CUDA rendering helps you get your videos done faster, a drop in 20% performance is time wasted from what you thought you were going to be buying and then what Nvidia is actually delivering on. This is absolute horse hockey. This is something that I personally am not okay with. This is something that makes it really difficult for me as a reviewer who has reviewed the MX150. I would absolutely, if at the full performance, recommend it for people who know that they're just basically going to be playing Dota and doing some light professional work. Like, you want to edit in Premiere, you could totally do that on an MX150, but you probably can't do it as well on an MX150 that's a little bit worse. Whew, this upsets me. So AnonTech ends the article with saying, though we only came across the Ubuntu certified database entries after reaching out, Nvidia has declined to comment on the matter. However, with what we have collated, there seems to be little reason to doubt the undisclosed slower MX150. I mean, is there no hope in the gaming market right now? So as much as it might be chic or vogue or in right now to kind of get on the Nvidia hate bandwagon, let's not fool ourselves that AMD actually also kind of did this a few months ago with the RX 560. They dropped the RX 560's compute units down from 16 to 14 in some instances in what they would end up calling the RX 560D, which to be honest, wasn't quite upfront. AMD wasn't exactly letting everybody in on the fact that they were dropping the compute units, just like Nvidia is lowering it here on the lower end as well, which, I mean, basically, what is the thought there? That's the thing that boggles my mind here. Is it just the fact that they are just like, you know, people are not really paying as much for these cards, so they're not going to notice as much of a performance difference, and so who cares if we lower the amount without disclosing it to anybody, because were they going to notice it in the first place? Like, that's like an unfortunate thing that I just, like, there's just so much going wrong in the gaming market right now, where Nvidia and it's just trying to ruin the experience of the end user. AMD appears to be doing the same in certain instances, and albeit not to as great of an extent as evidenced by the GeForce Partner Program. But freaking, like, is there a day we can go without news about Nvidia trying to hurt the consumer in some way, shape, or form? This is just absolutely frustrating, disgusting, and it's not something that I like. Let's talk about this down in the comments over on our Discord. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. This obviously isn't huge news in the grand scheme of things. How many of us are really going to be buying MX150 notebooks? Probably not a huge heck of a lot, but at the same time, it's the principle. Like, this is at a time when I don't think Nvidia can spare any more bad press when it comes to the tech community at large. Obviously, they're doing okay with sales, and they're doing okay with the mainstream people, because obviously they wouldn't enforce the GPP if they didn't think they could get away with it. But then, like, on YouTube, at least, and like in my comment section and in the Discord, I'm finding that like everybody is completely disapproving of these ventures, completely against what's happening here. And so, like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Where are you standing on this? Is this just par for the course? This is exactly what we should be expecting? Is this exactly like the GTX 970 with 3.5 gigabytes of VRAM? Is this exactly like other instances where the graphics card companies have tried to pull the wool over the consumer's eyes because they could? And who else is going to be there to call them out for it? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts again down in the comments over on the Discord. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video. Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content. I am Brett with the UFT Tech channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.